named an unchanged team. What's your thinking there?
Well, 2-0 up. Very good all-round team performances. So yeah, it's a pretty easy decision to stick with the same 11. And yeah, we want to wrap up the series and hopefully take it 3-0.
Is it about being ruthless? Is that one of the key objectives as you move the team forward?
Ruthless is always a word that I think is just based on outcome, but no, we want to win 3-0.
Any temptation to rotate the attack? Maybe have a look at Dylan Pennington for the first time?
I think that will come naturally. We've 6 test matches, even though we've got a decent break, but there's the 100 to be played in between that. So fast bowling is very hard. So I think naturally we may see a change in the bowling lineup. But no, that's not required yet.
What have you made of him over the past few weeks in the camp? Not play, that's not always easy, is it?
No, it's tough to not play, but I think for Potsy and for Dylan, I think it's great for them to be in the squad. I know Potsy sort of had a great 2022 summer when he first got in, and now finds himself back in. Dylan's first time in, so it's great for not just bowlers but players to be around. It is tough, but I think they've worked incredibly hard. So if the opportunity does come around for either of them, got no doubt they'll be ready to go.
And no concerns over managing Mark Wood's workload. We saw it had a bit of a niggle with him, bowled at 97 miles an hour.
Yeah, imagine if he didn't have a niggle. Well, it'd be fast. No, I think niggle's a little bit too far. Sorry. You always check in with your bowlers after every test match, and you go with what they say, what they feel, and he's ready, firing and good to go again.
And how good is it for you to be playing as an all-rounder again, contributing with bat and ball in this team?
Yeah, really good. It's although it's only one more option, I felt as if I've had way more than that. It's and then obviously having like the options in terms of Gus and Woody in terms of what they add with their pace. You can then sort of work it a little bit better with the spinner. Woody didn't get the rewards he should have done last week, but I think the partnership that he worked with Bash, at the other end, that's where the wickets came from. I think Woody does know how much he affects the game, even if he's not getting the wickets in the column, because there's just a different feel whenever he comes on to bowl a spell. But yeah, even though I'm only one more option, it generally feels like I've got 4 or 5 more, because I can sort of manipulate the bowling attack a bit more and try and use the 2 guys at either end as a partnership, as opposed to just going, right, you ever spell that and you ever spell that, and if that makes sense. Yeah,
and a year ago you wouldn't have been certain whether you could be an all-rounder again. So how has it changed your thinking in terms of both what you can do and your career and where you're at?
Well, where I'm at right now is very happy, in a good place with my all-round abilities. Being able to bowl, I think, is just massive for me, and I know it really affects the makeup of the team. It wasn't required to bowl in that in the 4th innings, just because of how well Bash bowled, and obviously the ball got reverse swinging quite nicely, and it's when you look at Woody and Gus, I felt that those 2 were going to be the guys who were going to win that game for us on the day 4, just because of the reverse swing.
Have you thought any more about your white ball future at the moment?
Test cricket at the moment.
Not thinking any further ahead than that.
No.
Thank you.
Stefan, go ahead.
You talked about obviously building your sort of fast bowling attack and giving guys experience. But also, when you and Brendan first took over, you sort of said don't want to chop and change. You always want to play your best 11 at every opportunity. How do you sort of do the 2 things at the same time? Is that difficult?
I wouldn't say it's difficult. I just think it's when you look at the guys in which we've got playing at the moment, especially with the likes of Woody being probably the standout there because of how he bowls. It's very unlikely that you're going to get the remaining test matches out of him just because of how hard it is on his body, sort of compared to everyone else. Not that it's any easier for guys who don't bowl 97 mile an hour, but you need to look after guys like that. So, at the moment we've stuck with the same team for the first 3 games because we don't feel it's a necessary opportunity to change that.
You've had Dylan around the squad for this whole series. I don't know how much you knew about him beforehand, but even with him not playing, what have you learned about him as a bowler, as a character? I don't know if you faced him in the nets. What sort of attributes has he got that you think could be useful in Test cricket?
Well, first thing that struck me was how big he was. I was walked past him in the changing room in Lords and sort of bumped into him and like went to look flat and I had to look up another foot. He's massive. He's got obviously natural high release point, and I think his move to knots has been very, very good for him. He's sort of had a lot of clarity given to him in the role in which he plays there, and I think his bowling's progressed so quickly over the last year, and that's all the feedback that we got from not only the guys who we use for that, but also Ben Duckett fed back saying he's bowled some spells this year that Test level, and yeah, though he's not got the opportunity. Look at how hard he works out in the middle. He's, as I said before, there's no doubt that if an opportunity comes to him, then he'll be ready to go. He's done everything that you would expect someone in a squad to do, even if they're not playing.